What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Carolina Auto Direct and we're going to take a look at their 2021 Toyota 4Runner TRD PRO. Huge shout out to them for providing this truck for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website because they have a ton of 21 inventory on the lot. I'll have all their information down in the description below. But the 4Runner that you see behind me is finished off in Lunar Rock, and with the demand for the 4Runners, this has a list price right around $65,000. But we're going to start off today's review with what powers the 4Runner. Up underneath the hood, you'll find the 4-liter V6 engine paired to the 5-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 270 horsepower and 278 pound-feet of torque. It is rear-wheel drive with the 4-wheel drive system. Weighs in right around 4,600 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 7.7 seconds up to its top speed of 115 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 23 gallons, so you can expect to see around 14 miles per gallon in the city and 19 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 109.8 inches. Its overall length is 190.2. It has a width of 75.8, a height of 71.5 inches, and its ground clearance measures in right around 9.6 inches. It also has an approach angle of 33 degrees, a breakover angle of 19.8 degrees, and a departure angle of 26 degrees. As we work our way to the exterior now for this 4Runner, I'm going to start off with the headlight housing. So you'll notice it has a really unique shape to it. It also has really nice bulges on the far edges of them, not only to give it that cool look, but also to help direct airflow around the headlights, and it works well with all of the surrounding bodywork. This truck also has the halogen headlights. You'll see the turn signal on the far section along with the high beam right in the middle, and a really nice chrome trim piece running on the inside all the way to the corner and down just to give it more of that unique look. This truck also has fog lights. You can see all that trim work surrounding the lower section here, along with all the contoured lines in the bumper. It has a really nice flow to it, and it matches well running all the way across this grille here, which also has a unique look to it. You'll see there's plenty of cutouts in this mesh to provide maximum cooling to this engine, along with having the amber lights in the upper grille, which also have the same shape as the grille itself, just to tie them in a little bit nicer. You can see Toyota spelled out right in the middle, along with the forward-facing sensor, which is nicely integrated just below that. You can see the middle section of the bumper is finished off in gloss black. And then also just underneath that, this has the TRD skid plate. And then finishing up with the hood scoop, you'll see it has a really nice design to it, just to add to that aggressive look. And there's clean lines flowing to the top of the grille here, just to tie it in nicely. As we work our way to the side profile now for this TRD Pro, I'm gonna start off with the wheel and tire combo. So from the factory, this truck comes with a really nice set of black 17-inch wheels. They measure 7 inches wide. You can see the 6-spoke design that they have to them, along with the center cap finished off in red, and you can see TRD spelled out in it as well. But this truck also has an aftermarket set of tires. These are the Nitto Ridge Grapplers. They're 285/70/17, so they're just shy of 33 inches, and they measure around 10.5 inches wide. It's a really aggressive setup for this truck. You'll also notice too the red suspension up front. This has the TRD suspension with the Fox shocks, so you can see all those components up front, along with the stabilizer bars, the Fox suspension in the rear, along with the remote reservoirs as well. This truck also has body colored side mirrors, which is a really nice touch to see, along with some small fins just to add better aerodynamics. You'll also notice up top this has a sunroof along with the roof rack too. It's powder coated, very durable for any items you'd like to place up there. There's also great lines that flow down the side profile. We have two from the headlight. You'll see the top one runs right through the doors all the way to the back, and then there's another one right in the middle, just flaring out to give it more of an aggressive look. And this truck also has the body colored fender flares, which gives it a great look too. More lines run in the lower section of the doors. You can see the TRD Pro badge just behind the rear glass, and then down on the side is the side exit TRD exhaust. And last up for this 4Runner, you'll notice that this has a body colored spoiler. It has the integrated third brake light along with the wiper blade nicely tucked up underneath. Not only does that provide better rear facing visibility, but this rear glass also slides down and up, which is a really nice feature to see. You don't have to open the whole liftgate if you don't want to, and you can use these buttons on the liftgate if you'd like to as well. So just by holding on the lower one, that will automatically unlock the truck and lower the glass. If I hold the top one, it will lock the truck and bring it back up. So that's a great feature. Not many vehicles have that option. You'll also notice too that the Toyota badge and 4Runner is finished off with this black trim piece. This does also have a backup camera. It does feature LED brake lights too, which have a really nice design to them. And then this truck also has a towing capacity around 5,000 pounds, and this particular model also has a full-size spare tucked up underneath. Now it's time to take a look at the interior on this TRD Pro. So I have the truck locked and the key in my pocket. If I just place my hand on the door handle, you can hear it unlock. And now we can take a look at this door panel. So it's covered in black leather and red stitching. You can see that stitching running across the top as well as down on the armrest. On the very top here, you can see all of the window controls along with lock and unlock. You can also see the release handle, which is finished off in chrome. Really nice trim piece surrounds all of that, along with the grab handle. There's also a little bit of storage space in the middle section of the door, and then down below you can see there's more storage space for anything you'd like to place there. And this truck also has the 15-speaker JBL audio sound system. As we work our way to the interior now, you can see the all-weather floor mats. And now moving on to these black seats, you can see TRD up in the headrest, finished off in red, of course, which matches the red stitching. These are heated seats too, have a really nice design to them. And then down on the side, you can see all the automatic controls. And now that we're inside with my foot on the brake, it's time to start it up. And then coming back to the gauge cluster, you can see on the left side is the tach, on the right side is the miles per hour, and then there's two gauges up top for your engine temperature and your fuel gauge. And then right in the middle, there's some more information that you can go through using these buttons over on the right side of the steering wheel. So right now you can see the outside temperature along with the compass. If I scroll over, you can pull up audio when that is on and running. You can also look at your forward sensor, so we have the distance pacing there. You can look at any messages you may have, along with your settings. So you can go into some of the technology features, you can go into vehicle settings as well and configure all of this information. You can also go into your MPG, so you can look at your averages for that, along with your miles per hour. You can look at more of that information in another setting, along with your distance until empty. You can also look at your economy meter just to see how much MPG you're saving. You can pull up the miles per hour if you'd like to, along with the sway warning. So if you have been driving this vehicle for a long period of time, it'll detect that and tell you when it's time to pull over and take a break. You can also look at your TPMS and your steering angle too. So if I turn the wheels right now, you can see that diagram change. So that way you know when your wheels are facing straight. Very helpful for off-road situations. And now as we work our way to the steering wheel, you can see it's completely covered in black leather. Really nice trim surrounding both sides of it. Also over on the right side, you can see a back button along with a pages button, which is customizable, which is nice to see. You can see the forward-facing sensor along with the lane keeping assist, and the cruise control stalk is just behind that. And then over on the left side is volume and tuning for the radio, along with voice commands and Bluetooth. There's also a mode button for the stereo too. And then as we work our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you can see there's a power outlet, which is located in the rear. You can turn that on and off. This is the rear defroster. We have the automatic headlights along with a dimmer switch, and then the controls for the side mirrors. You'll notice there's one air vent just above that. And then as we work our way to the center, there's a clock along with two air vents, and just below that is the 8-inch screen. So this is a touchscreen system. Right now we are on the home screen where you can see audio and phone when those are on and paired, and navigation is over on the right side. So that's just by clicking on this home button here. If I go to menu, now we can pull up projection, which is how you can pair your phone to this system. You can go into phone and audio as well as setup too, so you can configure all of that information if you'd like to. We have a shortcut to the audio along with the map, so I can pull that up in full screen. And then over on the right side, you can see apps and phone, and seek and track for the radio. You'll also notice power and volume for the radio is in the lower left, and then tuning is on the lower right. And then as we work our way to the left side here, you can see the TRD engine start stop button. We also have temperature for driver on the left side, temperature on the passenger side, with the LCD screen right in the middle. So you can see fan speed, where you'd like the air to go. Everything is laid out incredibly well, so it's very easy to read all these controls. You'll also notice too that we have a little bit of a storage bin on the left side, along with a 12 volt and a USB over on the right side, and some more storage space just underneath that. And then as we work our way below that, you'll see there's one cup holder along with the 4-wheel drive selector. So this is of course how you can go into 4 high and 4 low. And then just behind that, we have the TRD shifter. So with my foot on the brake, I'll put the truck into reverse, and you can see the backup camera up here with the guidelines, which are very helpful. So this has great graphics for that rear facing visibility. You'll also notice a cup holder over on the right, along with a little bit of storage for a phone or something small like that. And this also has a really nice carbon fiber-like material surrounding all of this, just to give it a great look. And then you'll also notice too, we have the heated seat controls, along with the sliding rear glass, so you can control it here if you'd like to. And then as we work our way to the center armrest, you'll see it's finished off in leather and more stitching. And as we open this up, you'll see there's this small removable tray. If you have any smaller items you'd like to place there, you can. There's also an integrated tissue holder just behind that if you need to use that. And by removing this, you can see just how much more storage space there is, along with a 12 volt. So that makes it very usable if you want to charge any electronics. And then as we work our way to the glove box, you can see there's plenty of room with the split shelf design for any items you'd like to place there. We'll go ahead and take one last look at these seats, which have a really nice design to them. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this does have a sunroof with the manual sunshade, so we can open that up. You'll also notice all of the controls for the sunroof are up top as well. There's some garage door buttons, along with traction control, the 8-track system. This truck also has a locking rear differential, and the 2 knobs in front of that are for crawl control. So over on the left side, we have the speed. Over on the right side is the different terrain. So depending on if you're in the rocks, mud, sand, any terrain like that, you can change that over on the right side along with the speed and the downhill assist control. So it makes it very versatile for off-road situations. So now that I'm in the back seats for the 4Runner, there's actually a lot of space back here. So I have the front seat set at my height, which is 5'10". I have plenty of room for my knees and my feet, and around 3 or 4 inches above my head. These seats also recline too, making it a lot more comfortable. So if you want to go all the way back, you're going on a long cruise, it's very comfortable to be in these back seats. They also have a 40-20-40 split to them, so you can fold down this middle seat if you'd like to. If you have any larger items or you have any pets or anything that you want to come through, you can do that. Or you can just have the center armrest down. So you have 2 cup holders here, of course, with having the armrest if you need to use it. There's also 2 air vents right in the middle, along with 2 USB-Cs. You can also see the storage space behind both front seats if you need to use it. And you can fold these seats down as well. You do need to lift up the bottoms first, and then by folding the backrest down, you can see just how much more interior storage you have if you need to use it. And last up for the 4Runner, it's time to take a look at the rear storage space. So I'm just gonna use the button up underneath 4Runner, and now you'll see there's a good amount of storage space, even with the back seats up. You can see the tie-down hooks so you can safely secure any items. Over on the driver's side, you'll see there's a little bit of a tray along with some hidden storage space behind here and a small tray down at the bottom. You'll also notice over on the right side, we have that same tray along with the 3-prong outlet and a 12-volt right next to that. There's also tie-down hooks in the front corners here and this removable cover here. And then when you fold down these seats, you can see just how much more storage there is to put in any items in this SUV that you'd like to. And then as we work our way back to this liftgate, you can see there are 2 dome lights. So if you're using this at nighttime, you have some light. There's also 2 speakers if you're gonna do some tailgating. You can see there's 1 grab handle along with 2 on the back side here, making it very easy to close. All right, so getting the 2021 Toyota 4Runner TRD PRO out on the road now, the first thing that I want to briefly talk about is this crawl control system. Now, I'm not going to be able to show that here in today's video because you do have to be in 4 low in order to activate it, but I own a Tacoma TRD off-road with the crawl control system. So if you'd like to see more information on that, how it works and all of that, I'll link a few videos down in the description below. But I think it's a really cool system because not only can you control the speed, it's basically like cruise control for off-road, so you don't have to monitor the gas or the brake, but you can also control your multi-terrain select. So rock, sand, mud, whatever the terrain is, you can set the truck to that. Even if you're not using the crawl control system, you can set it to that so the computer knows what kind of terrain that you're on, and it just makes it a little bit easier for throttle response and better grip and things like that. So I think it's an awesome system to have. But aside from that, just driving the 4Runner out on the road here, my dad actually owns this generation 4Runner, and it pretty much drives exactly like that. His is bone stock, there's no lift or anything like that. So with this lift kit and the suspension from TRD and the Fox suspension, it's been driving, or the Fox shocks I should say, it's been driving really, really smooth. Even getting on the brakes here, it doesn't really have that brake dive, which is nice to see. It's very composed, but at the same time, it offers a great suspension. So if you're using this as a daily driver, but you also want that lift, this is the best of both worlds. You're not sacrificing anything by having a rough suspension. It's absorbing all of these bumps well. I feel like I'm driving a stock 4Runner. So it's really nice to see that. We have the larger tires too, which don't have any road noise. I have these exact tires on my Tacoma, and I love them. They're very quiet. They're also great for off-road performance, really good for on-road performance if you're driving this every single day. So it's a great aggressive tire setup for on-road and off-road, which I love. But the 4Runner is a really great platform. This is one of the last body-on-frame actual trucks. So this is not a unibody, this is a truck. It can tow up to 5,000 pounds. It's very capable. I've mentioned this in other 4Runner videos, but my dad uses his all the time. He's racked up almost 90,000 miles on that truck, and it's a very good SUV. You can fold the seats down, he can throw in whatever he wants in the back, hook up a trailer. It's a very capable truck. It's also very nimble too. So if you want to take this off-road, it's very tight. The steering is really good too. We'll go ahead and turn into a side road here just so you can see the U-turn ability and how tight of a turning radius this does have. So it makes it great for the trails, makes it great for parking lot situations like this. You don't even have to put it in reverse or back up, which is great. It's not the quickest vehicle out there, So we'll give it a little bit of gas here. And nothing too crazy. We're up to the speed limit just like that. So it doesn't have a crazy amount of horsepower, but it's an SUV. It's built for that off-road rugged type of vehicle, so it doesn't have to be incredibly quick, but it gets the job done. You don't have to worry about merging into traffic or anything like that. It definitely has plenty of horsepower for situations like that, plenty of power to tow if you need to. And then briefly touching on overall visibility, it's really easy to see in this SUV. I can look over my left shoulder, look over my right shoulder. The window for the rear storage space is very large, so that makes it easy to look over that right side. And then talking about this interior here, I do like these subtle updates for the 2021. We have a really nice center screen here, plenty of info to go through. Everything is laid out very well. And I know people who are buying the 4Runners love that old school design to it, where everything is laid out well, not a whole lot of buttons to go through, not a whole lot of tech in the 4Runner, but I like what it has to offer. People who are buying this, again, want that rugged old school design. While it doesn't necessarily have all the bells and whistles, it has everything that you need without going to that next level of things that you don't necessarily want to use or have at the same time. So if you just want kind of a basic interior, but you have the nav, you have the front sensor along with the lane keeping assist and some other minor features like that, it's definitely a great platform. I really don't have anything bad to say about this, and the reason being is because my dad owns one. I have a lot of seat time behind the 4Runner. Aside from maybe needing a little bit more horsepower, which I could kind of debate either way, I think it's a great platform. If you want to take this off-road, if you want to use it as a daily driver, it has a lot to offer. But I think that's going to wrap it up for my walk-around review and test drive, getting the 2021 Toyota 4Runner TRD PRO out on the road. Once again, huge shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this truck for me today. Make sure you check out their website. That link is down in the description below. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date on our daily uploads. And I'll see you in the next video.